What happens when one of the most important people who helped build modern AI start warning world about it? That's what makes Geoffrey Hinton so much important right now. He is often called one of the founding godfather of AI. He has also won 2024 Nobel Prize in Physics for work that helped lay the foundation for modern machine learning. And when someone like that starts saying we should be worried, people pay attention. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Hinton says AI could do incredible things for humanity, but he also warns that it could become dangerous through misinformation, cyber attacks, manipulation, autonomous weapons, and eventually systems that may become smarter than humans and harder to control. So in this video, I'm going to break down who Geoffrey Hinton is, why he left Google, what his mission is now, and why his warning about AI are making so many people uneasy. If you have been following AI at all, chances are you have heard Geoffrey Hinton's name before. He is one of the most important figures in the history of artificial intelligence. His work on neural networks helped shape the technology behind AI systems we use today. That's a huge part of why he is often called one of the godfather of AI. And in 2024, he received the Nobel Prize in Physics along with John Hopfield for foundational work that helped make machine learning with artificial neural networks possible. So this isn't just another tech commentator giving his hot take online. This is one of the people who helped make this entire AI era possible. So let's start with who Geoffrey Hinton is. What really pushed Geoffrey into the mainstream conversation was the moment he left Google and started speaking more openly about the risk of AI. That move got a lot of attention because it wasn't just a career change, it felt like a warning. Geoffrey left Google so he could speak more freely about the dangers of AI without the conflict of being inside one of the biggest companies building it. That made people stop and ask a very serious question. What does he know that made him feel the need to step away and start warning everyone? To be clear, he is not anti-technology. He is not saying AI has no upside. In fact, many times he has mentioned that AI could bring huge benefit to humanity. But he really believes that the risks are real enough that staying quiet is no longer acceptable. Which brings us to our third section. What's his mission now? In one interview, when he was asked what mission he is on in this stage of his life, he said his mission now is to warn people how dangerous AI could be. That's a powerful thing to hear from someone in his position. Because again, this is not a random doomsday voice on the internet. This is a Nobel Prize winning AI pioneer saying very clearly that warning the public is now one of his main goals. That alone should tell you this isn't just a fringe conversation anymore. This is one of the most important debates in technology. So now let's look into what his warnings are about. Now when people think about AI danger, they often jump to one extreme. Either they think it's just a hype or they imagine a sci-fi robot apocalypse. But Geoffrey's warning is more layered than that. He usually talks about two big categories of risk. The first is short-term danger, meaning humans use AI in harmful ways. The second is long-term danger, meaning AI system becomes so capable that humans may no longer be able to fully control them. And both of those matters because one is already happening and other may be developing way faster than many people expected. Let's start with near-term stuff because this part is much easier to understand. Geoffrey has often warned about misinformation, phishing, cyber attacks, manipulation, and autonomous weapons. And honestly, none of that sound unrealistic anymore. We have already seen how AI can generate realistic text, voices, images, and videos. That means bad people can create fake content at a scale that was much harder before. It becomes easier to scam people, easier to spread confusion, and easier to flood the internet with convincing lies. And that's a huge problem because once people stop trusting what they see and hear online, everything becomes much harder. News, election, public trust, and even everyday communication. He's also raised concerns about the autonomous weapons, which is a chilling topic on its own. The idea that AI could be used in systems that identify and attack targets with less human decision making is one of the most disturbing real world risks people are talking about today. And then there's cybersecurity. Geoffrey has warned that AI could make phishing much more effective and could also help generate new kind of cyber attacks. In other words, AI doesn't just help good people work faster, it can also help bad people become more efficient, more persuasive, and more dangerous. So even before we get into the futuristic stuff, Geoffrey has warned that AI could amplify the worst traits of humankind. So you may be wondering if these are the short-term risks. What about the long term? Now we get to the part where Geoffrey warning feels much more serious. He has said that the bigger long-term concern is the possibility of that AI system eventually become more intelligent than humans. And once that happens, we may be dealing with something we don't really know how to manage. One of the Geoffrey's key points is that humanity has never had to deal with things smarter than itself. And that's what makes this different than any other invention. When we built the tools in the past, we stayed clearly in charge. But if we create systems that can think, strategize, learn, and improve beyond us, then the old assumption of human control starts to look a lot less certain. That doesn't mean he's saying the disaster is guaranteed. But he is saying the risk is real enough that we should stop acting like this is just another tech cycle. And one reason his comments have gone viral is because he has even given a rough personal estimate that there could be a 10 to 20% chance that AI leads to human extinction. Now, to be fair, he presented that as a gut estimation, not a proven scientific calculation. But still, when one of the most respected people in the AI says something like that, you cannot just brush it off. He's not giving one-sided panic speech. He's saying this technology could be incredibly useful and incredibly dangerous at the same time. And the real problem is we do not have a guaranteed roadmap for how to keep these future systems safe as they become more powerful. That uncertainty is a huge part of that warning. Because if the upside is massive and the downside is also massive, then moving too fast without any safeguard becomes a problem in itself. This conversation matters now because AI is no longer a niche lab experiment. It's already being pushed into search engines, phones, software, education, creative tools, business workflows, and almost every corner of the internet. At the same time, companies are racing to make these systems more capable, more useful, and more powerful. Geoffrey's concern is that capability may be moving faster than control. That might be the simplest way to understand Geoffrey's warning. It's not about what AI can do anymore, it's about whether humans can still guide, limit, and safety manage what comes next. In a recent Star Talk podcast conversation, he discussed the unsettling possibility that advanced AI systems might appear less capable in certain situations, especially if they realize they are being evaluated. He framed this as a part of broader concern. If these systems become good at strategic behavior, humans may not always know when they are seeing the full picture. That idea is especially disturbing because it touches one of the biggest fears in AI safety. Not just that systems become more capable, but that they may become better at hiding their capabilities, manipulating human expectations, or behaving differently under observation. If you want to watch the full conversation yourself, I will link the podcast in the description. So here's the big takeaway. Geoffrey isn't just another voice talking about AI. He is one of the foundational figures behind the field, a 2024 Nobel Prize winner, and someone who left Google so he could speak more openly about the AI risks. And now he says his mission is to warn people about how dangerous AI could become. So, do you still think AI is overhyped, or people are still underestimating how serious this could become? Do you think AI could reach the point of singularity? TechXsense out.